What's up, YouTube? So in this video I want to talk about door-to-door sales. So I've recently got a new job and a lot of it is going door-to-door selling. Before that I have been working for a couple years doing face-to-face, very long presentations. Each time I was with somebody was a setup sales presentation, and I was with that person for around 2 hours. So if they didn't buy, that was 2 hours of my time that had went away, which was very annoying because my join rate at that company before was 1 out of 3, meaning that, I had to do 6 hours of selling to make one sale, although it was pretty high commission. But going door to door, I've really liked so far because, well, one, if you meet somebody, you knock on their door and they come out and they're not interested at all, it's perfect because it took, 20 seconds of your time and you can easily move on to the next. That is the thing I really like about it, because my whole sales strategy since I've started in sales was some will, some won't, who cares, next. If someone says no, it doesn't really faze me that much because I always know there's a next person. And maybe that person will, if they say no, it again doesn't matter because there's still a next person. And that's one thing I really liked about door-to-door so far. Although again, it's still new. And when I talk about a lot of the door-to-door, keep in mind that the product I'm selling is most likely very different than the one that you are. So it works for me, probably won't work for you. And, that's kind of different strategies, different things for different products. But what I've noticed with door-to-door, first off, I really didn't think I was going to like door-to-door, or at least not as much as I do. I thought I'd be able to do it, but it's actually kind of fun. I mean, especially because, the main reason you can reach a lot of people really easily. So what I like to do when I knock on the door, or mostly ring the doorbell, you always call it door knocking, but it's really just doorbell ringing. But anyway, so I ring somebody's doorbell. One thing I've noticed is that they always take forever to actually come to the door. But you sit there, you wait for a while, and eventually they show up, which is amazing. But anyway, they show up, and what I've realized is, very different from my last job in this, is you really want to be as straight to the point as possible, because all they're really thinking of is, how do I get back inside my house and get this person to leave? They don't really want to talk to me. So it's my job to get them gone as fast as possible. Now that said, I do actually try to warm up a little bit. Like my sales strategy before was always, warm up with them, talk about anything but the sale, gather rapport, then do a good discovery, presentation, overcome objections, go for the close. That was always my strategy. And, I would say the same thing with door to door, but it's a lot different. It's no longer a 15-minute warm up, it's, a few seconds. Like I knock on the door and one thing I always try to do when I knock on the door is I look around and try to find something in their yard to comment about. Just something. Something that can get instant rapport with them. I've often heard of the 4-second rule, where when somebody looks at you, you really have 4 seconds for them to determine if they like you or not. So I try to do something, and those 4 seconds for them to be like, okay, maybe hanging out with this person for a few minutes will not be the worst thing in the world. Maybe being with this person is not the worst thing that could ever happen. That's my goal. So anyway, I knock on their door, and I try to find something in the yard to talk about, to overcome just a little bit of their worries. Everyone kind of talks salespeople with walls up to here, and I try to get the wall down a little bit. But you only have a short time to do it. So anyway, I do that, try to find something in their yard to talk about, warm up with them, try to joke around for a second. But for a second is not, minimizing it. It literally is for just a second. But anyway, I do that. And then, what I'm selling, with the discovery period, it's kind of interesting because usually when I did it, like with my last job, that was the majority of not really the majority, that was a big part of my 2-hour presentation, is finding the questions on how to sell them. With door to door, it's almost about just trying to reach as many people as possible. So before, you have the one person, you're putting everything you have on it. But door to door is really about trying to find as many people as possible to talk to. So it's a little bit different when you do the discovery. I'm trying to when I do a discovery door to door, I'm really just trying to figure out if I'm going to sell this person or not, if they actually need what I have or if they actually want what I have. I'm trying to get that information as fast as possible without just point blank going up to them and being like, hey, are you interested in what I have? I try to find out their needs. So, I try to, ask questions about, what they're currently doing for the product I sell, if they're happy with it. Basically, trying to ask as many questions as I can to figure out as soon as possible if this person is someone that I should be taking time on or if I should be moving to the next. And then after doing that, I get into the actual pitch. And it's a pretty fast pitch right now. Just quickly mentioning some of the benefits of what I sell, what it actually is, what the kind of promotion I can kind of give them while they're talking to me right then. And I'm trying to get that pitch out. And then once I do, what I've noticed is, I love my last job 2-hour presentation. They would voice their objections, and you kind of loop the objections back into the actual pitch. And it's the same thing with this, and I'm trying to explain it, but it's kind of a different kind of objection, where, it's, I guess the main kind of difference is, the biggest objection that I get now is, one, I haven't talked to their, spouse or partner, which I give them all the information that I possibly can, and try to get it. That's kind of the big one now, because, with my last job, they were going to a sales presentation. They knew for a fact that when they were going there, that someone was going to ask them to buy something. But with the door-to-door, they're sitting at their home. They have no idea someone's about to come up there and ask them to buy something. So it's a little bit different. But, you still have the objections, and you try to, loop them back into the actual pitch and then go along with the pitch, with the objection being satisfied. But it happens a lot quicker. It's really hard to explain, but it's a much different process. It's very quick objections, very quick overcoming, coming back to the pitch. And then I either get the yes, have the sale, I plug in the information, and everyone's happy, or I don't get the sale. Now, that one's not as fun, and if I don't, that's fine, because I can just go to the next house, then the next house, and the next house. Like I said, it's a complete numbers game. But I do try to give them a little bit of information, my contact form and everything, because on the off chance they change their mind, I still want to be the one who gets the sale. So I try to do that, and also I try to get their email or something that I can contact them with later. And that's pretty much how I have been doing it. Again, what you sell is probably completely different than what I do. So what works for me might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for me. But that's how I've been doing it. And yeah, it's been pretty fun so far. Thank you for watching the video, give it a like, and that's it.